a lot of individuals just feel that like, okay, since I'm not sick, then I probably don't have HIV. But how do you know? What does an illness do for individuals? How can you tell that you're sick or you're not sick or if you don't have HIV? Right? Because there's a lot of illnesses out there. You know, there's like the flu. There's could be you know, a cough or some of this. You know, there could be just different things that are even the measles or some of this. You know, you have. You know, you never know. So like just saying like, oh, I'm not feeling sick. That's not a good reason because I guess like there's 99.6% of people saying like, oh, I'm not sick, so why should I do this or do that? So yeah, so yeah, the reality is that go ahead and get tested and just to be sure for yourself. You know, that's the whole thing is that you have to make sure for yourself. You know, because like no one else is going to look out after you. You know, just you. You don't need me for you. You need to be you. That's it. You know, and don't care what your peers say and everything else. But just you have to be you. No, it's really funny in a way. Is that like um, I heard all these horror stories that you're gonna get all these diseases and all these illnesses all the time, and you're gonna be wasted out. You're gonna be so thin. You're gonna be sickly all the time. But that didn't happen to me. You know, I just felt like it was a normal thing. You know, just like if I had a cold or something like this. You know, just a normal routine every day. Um, yes, was that part of denial? It could be, but I just felt that like no, yeah, you know, and yes, I when I did get like a cold or something, some sort of illness, yes, I did feel that. Oh yes, is that HIV? You know, but then I thought, no, it isn't. It's you know, it's just a regular illness that comes out. You know, so you know, so I guess like at that point in time, I was going on the journey of learning how not to deny my illness, but just accepting it. And part of my acceptance with that is that I've learned one thing, which I try uh, to instill to other individuals, like who are either newly diagnosed or if they've been diagnosed for a while, is that the one thing that I've learned is that I've learned that I know how to love myself as a person. Not because like I have HIV or whatever, just I learned how to love myself. When I was in California, I was leading a support group for affected individuals, for grandparents and brothers, um, relatives, lovers and siblings, or just whatever, you know. And I was talking to them, and they're telling me a bunch of horror stories about like how it felt like when the individual got tested, because that back then in 1986 it took about 2 weeks to get the results back. Not like we have now, the rapid testing where we can get it like within 20 minutes. But it took like 2 weeks. And they were telling me that, oh yes, you know, there's so much, they had so much anxiety and everything else and didn't know what to do with themselves. And I thought, oh, that's a bunch of BS. So I thought, okay, I'll just go down to the local health department and get tested. So with this. And the first thing in my mind was, yes, it can never happen to me. You know, it's going to be a great test, and I'm going to be negative and all this stuff, you know. Yeah, and you know, and then all of a sudden, 1 week went by, no call. 2 weeks went by, and then I started feeling the anxiety, and I was tapping my fingers on the counters of this, and said, oh God, what's wrong? And so like, you know, so, and then I started to realize, okay, now I understand what those individuals were going through, you know, the not knowing. So I got a call, and they said, oh, no, can you come down, and, you know, we'd like to talk to you. I said, all right. So on my way there, I thought that, okay, I know what I'm going to do if I get a positive result and stuff like this, but if I have a negative result, you know, I know what I'm going to do now. I know how to protect myself and be more frugal about just not being so risky at everything. So I thought, okay, you know, I was getting my mind together. I said, oh, that's fine. I was all set up that it was a negative result. So when I got in there, the nurse there at the health department just had asked me to sit down. I sat down and said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Pinedo, but you're HIV positive." And then she looked at me and walked away and just left the room. I left there and I was just dumbfounded. And I didn't know what to do. And I thought, like, God, how, do they treat this like to everybody like this? What kind of compassion did anyone have? Stuff like this. And so, like, I guess I was strong enough at that time, even though it was devastating news. I went ahead and found a doctor, an infectious disease doctor, and I went ahead and I started attending a support group within the support group. I said, okay, I guess I need some assistance too. So I did. And so, like, that really kind of squealed my journey to help other individuals who are HIV positive with this, like, to let them know that someone is out there who is very compassionate and really caring for what you are.